Hey guys, this is Clay with Deep South Bushcraft and Self-Reliance. Thought we'd switch gears a little bit and do an inside self-reliance project. This channel's been mostly about bushcraft and doing things outside in the woods, and that's important. You have to go out in the woods and collect and hunt and gather to be self-reliant. But you also have to be able to make things at home to help you be more self-reliant. So today I thought we'd switch gears, do my first inside video. Or I think it's my first. And thought we'd make a little bit of butter. Before we get started on this, I want to take a minute to thank everyone who's been watching my videos and subscribed. Really appreciate that, guys. I really do. And if there's any videos you would like to see something on, if you would just, put something in the comments, hey, I'd like to see a video on the blanket roll or whatever. I love getting ideas. I love questions. So, definitely welcome all that stuff, and thank y'all for all your positive comments. So anyway, now that I bored you a little bit, we'll get started. I'm going to stand up here. Alright. So, I'll go through what we have here. First thing we need is a big bowl. And I picked this bowl out myself. I really like the colors. Very manly. But it's kind of deep. Has narrow sides. I've got a couple of towels that we're going to put down just to try to avoid making a really big mess. And then we're just going to take our heavy whipping cream. And this would work just as good if it was, fresh cream right out of the cow. This was just easy for me to get. So we got that in our bowl. Now I've just got us a little hand mixer here. And I'm only going to put one attachment in it, because I'm trying really hard not to make a mess. So now we're just going to start whipping our thing. I'm going to get this whipped up to where I want it, and I'll get right back with you guys. Alright guys, it's been about 5 minutes, and I want to show you where we're at. Now, instead of having heavy whipping cream, we have whipped cream. So if you wanted whipped cream, you would just stop here and you have whipped cream. You can take some out and you can beat it. The more you beat it, the thicker it's going to get. See how it's starting to get all chunky looking? That's the fat particles separating from that. You guys see how it's starting to look wet again? It got really dry looking, almost like really dry mashed potatoes, and now we're Alright, I'm going to scrape the sides down and give it one more good mixing. But all these crumbs are the fat particles separating out. That's really all butter is. Alright guys, so it's gotten stiff. It's gotten really too stiff for me to hold the mixer in there. It keeps trying to bounce out. So we're just gonna take our spoon, kind of mash our butter off to the side over here. Back you guys up a tad. We're going to try to strain this off without getting too many fat particles in it. Uh-oh. And this is our buttermilk. As you can see, let me dump the rest of this water out here. As you can see, what we have left is butter. Mash that all together so it sticks together good. Now, if we leave our butter like this, it won't do well. So we're just going to take a glass of water. It won't last a long time, I should say. Just pour that over our butter. Just going to kind of mix that around in there a little bit. Just kind of mash our butter up in it. Now we're just going to pour that water off. It's all milky looking. Not into our buttermilk if we wanted to keep it. Put some more water on it. And I'm going to go ahead and wash this a couple more times and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alright guys, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. See how our water, even though I'm mashing this butter all around in it, is staying clear. That's how you know your butter is clean, is when the water, even though you're mashing your butter around in it, you've done this enough and changed out enough that the water stays clear. So I think we're good. So our next step, pour that clear water off as much as we can. So now we're going to, you don't have to salt your butter, but I'm going to, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. Doesn't have to go crazy with it, just a little bit of salt there. Mix that around good. And don't worry, any residual water will come out. Make sure I'm mixing it. See that water in there? Now the best way to tell if you got your butter salty enough, it's good. Alright, so now we got all this butter. Now what? Well, if you don't salt your butter, it'll last about a day just sitting out, covered, butter dish. If you put it in the refrigerator, unsalted butter will last about a week. And if you freeze it, and I'm going to show you how to wrap it and freeze it, it'll last about 3 months. Salted butter will last about 3 days just out on the table, covered in a butter dish, 2 or 3 weeks in the refrigerator, and up to a year in the freezer. And still taste good, be fresh. So, let's divide this butter up. I'm gonna put some in a little jar just to use in the house. I'm just gonna scoop it out and put it in there. Nothing special about it. Just like that. And that's going to be what goes in my fridge. So, butter. And I'm going to get everything ready and show you how we're going to freeze it. Alright guys, so now I moved our butter to another bowl here. And we're going to get ready to freeze it. And again, it'll last for up to a year. So we're just going to scoop our butter out, lay it on this plastic wrap. I'm just going to take it and make it into a little butter ball there. Now, butter is sensitive to light, and it's not that I'm worried about the butter going bad, but we don't want the butter picking up any flavors from other things. So, first thing I'm going to do is give this butter a little squeeze, making sure I don't see any water, and I don't. And we're going to wrap it good. I'm going to put it in some aluminum foil, which will protect it from light. And then we're just going to take a Ziploc freezer bag. Get all the air out we can. I didn't do a very good job getting that air out, did I? The bag didn't seal good. Uh-oh. I have a defective Ziploc bag. That's okay. Always prepared, right? There. Butter. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video on making butter. I realize that if you can go to the store and buy whipped cream, you can buy butter, obviously. This was just more about the process and practicing. You know, if you know someone who owns dairy cows or dairy goats, there you go. I'm sure dairy goat butter is much stronger. And I know cow's milk, or real cow's milk butter, is much stronger. But that's the process. I think it's something good to know, and you know, there are times when you can buy cream, especially right now, a lot cheaper than you can buy butter. But I just mainly wanted to cover the process and do a inside project for you guys. But anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And this has been Clay Lewis with Deep South Bushcraft and Self-Reliance. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.